Your body starts changing the moment you stop walking, and after 60, that change happens faster than most people realize. But the moment you start walking every day, your body can begin fighting back in ways that surprise even healthy people. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share science-backed health tips like this every single day. Over the years, one pattern shows up again and again. The people who keep walking even a little usually keep doing more for themselves later in life. The people who stop moving often lose strength, balance, and confidence much faster than they expected. And the scary part is this can happen quietly, not all at once, but week by week. Today I'm going to show you what really happens when you walk every day, what most people get wrong, and how to use walking in the smartest way possible. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we're helping. Here's what most people get wrong. They think walking only counts if you do 10,000 steps, break a sweat, and push through pain. That sounds impressive, but it's not the full story. In fact, a 2021 study from the University of Massachusetts Amherst found that adults who walked at least 7,000 steps a day had a 50% to 70% lower risk of premature death than those who stayed under 7,000. Not 10,000, 7,000. That matters, doesn't it? And here's another shock. A 2023 report from the University of Connecticut noted that about 80% of older adults in the United States have high blood pressure, 8 out of 10. So if you think walking is just about weight, you're missing the bigger picture. Walking is not only about calories. It's about blood flow, blood sugar, brain power, balance, and how long you stay independent. Let me be clear. Walking is not magic. It won't fix everything overnight, but it is one of the few habits that helps nearly every system in your body at the same time. Not fancy, but powerful. Not expensive, but effective. So what actually happens when you walk every day? Number 5, your heart gets a daily tune-up. Most people think walking helps only if it feels like a workout. But actually, your heart cares more about consistency than drama. Think of your heart like a house pump. If the pump sits still too much, pressure builds and the pipes don't work as smoothly. When you walk every day, you help that pump move blood with less strain. A 2023 study from the University of Connecticut found that when older adults with high blood pressure added about 3,000 steps a day, their top blood pressure number dropped by an average of 7 points and the bottom number dropped by 4 points. The researchers noted that changes this size are linked to an 18% lower risk of heart disease and a 36% lower risk of stroke. That is a big return from a very simple habit. So how do you use this? Start smaller than your pride wants. If you're doing almost nothing now, begin with 10 minutes a day for 1 week. Walk at a pace where you can still talk, but you can't sing easily. That's the sweet spot. On week 2, go to 12 or 15 minutes. On week 3, split it if you need to. 10 minutes after breakfast and 10 minutes after dinner still count. If your knees are stiff in the morning, walk later. If you feel safer indoors, use a hallway, grocery store, mall, or even march in place during commercials. The goal is not perfect form. The goal is repeatable movement. And pair your walk with heart-friendly foods. 1 medium banana gives you about 420 milligrams of potassium, which helps your body manage blood pressure. Half a cup of cooked white beans gives you roughly 500 milligrams. Half a cup of dry oats cooked gives you about 4 grams of fiber, which helps cholesterol. You don't need a fancy plan. A bowl of oatmeal and a short walk is already a strong start. Here's the thing, many people wait until the doctor warns them. Why wait for the fire alarm when you can stop the smoke? But wait until you see number 4. Number 4, your blood sugar stops swinging so wildly. Most people think sugar problems only matter if they have diabetes. But actually, big blood sugar swings can leave you tired, hungry, shaky, foggy, and craving more food, even if you've never been diagnosed with anything. Your body has to clean up that sugar after every meal. Walking helps it do that job better. A 2023 study, whose authors were affiliated with the University of Limerick, found that walking right after a meal lowered after-meal blood sugar more effectively than walking before a meal or waiting too long. That makes sense if you picture sugar as traffic entering a highway. Walking acts like a traffic cop. It helps move glucose out of your blood and into your muscles before the road gets jammed. So what should you do? The simplest method is this. After one main meal each day, walk for 10 minutes. Not later that night, not when you get around to it. Right after the meal or within about 10 to 20 minutes. Keep the pace easy to moderate. If you ate a larger dinner with bread, rice, pasta, or dessert, that walk matters even more. If 10 minutes feels too long, start with 3 to 5 minutes. Even that is better than sitting down right away. And support that walk with foods that keep sugar steady. Try 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt with 15 to 17 grams of protein. Add half an apple for fiber, or eat 2 eggs, which give you about 12 grams of protein, with a slice of whole grain toast. If you like oatmeal, add 1 tablespoon of peanut butter for healthy fat. The goal is not no carbs, but slower carbs. Not a sugar rush, but a steady burn. Quick question. Have you experienced that heavy, sleepy feeling after meals? Comment yes or no below. Look, if you walk after meals, you're not just being active, you're helping your body handle what you just ate in real time. That is a very different idea, isn't it? But wait until you see number 3. Number 3, your brain gets more protection than you think. Most people think walking is for the legs, but actually one of the biggest winners may be your brain. Your brain needs blood flow, oxygen, and repeated signals that your body is still engaged with the world. When you walk, you send that message. A 2023 study from the University of California, San Diego found that in women aged 65 and older, each additional 865 daily steps was linked to a 33% lower risk of developing mild cognitive impairment or dementia. That is the stage where memory and thinking begin to slip. And a 2022 report from the University of Wisconsin highlighted research showing that about 3,800 steps a day was linked to a 25% lower dementia risk, while about 900 steps a day was linked to a 50% lower risk. Why would something so simple help the brain? Think of your brain like a garden. If water keeps reaching it, the plants stay alive. If the flow slows down, the garden dries out. Walking helps improve circulation, lowers inflammation, and may support the brain's ability to keep connections strong. It's not just exercise, it's maintenance. So how do you make walking a brain habit? Add a purpose. Don't just wander, count mailboxes, notice 5 blue things. Walk with a friend and talk. Listen to a podcast. Take a slightly different route twice a week. Why? Because the brain likes movement plus attention. If balance worries you, walk in daylight, use supportive shoes, and bring a cane or walking stick if you already use one. If you live in bad weather, walk laps inside your home and turn it a chair or counter for support. Food matters here too. A 3-ounce serving of salmon gives you roughly 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fats, which support brain health. 1 ounce of walnuts gives you about 2.5 grams of plant omega-3s. Blueberries are another easy add-on. Half a cup is enough. And don't ignore water. Even mild dehydration can make you feel more foggy than you realize. Have you noticed how some days your mind feels sharp and other days it feels like wet cement? Sometimes the difference is not age alone. Sometimes it's movement. But wait until you see number 2. Number 2, your joints and balance start working with you, not against you. Most people think walking wears out the knees, but actually too little movement is often the bigger problem. Your joints are like door hinges. If they never move, they get stiff. If they move in a steady, gentle way, they stay smoother. Not punishment, but lubrication. A 2022 study from Baylor College of Medicine found that adults age 50 and older with knee osteoarthritis who walked for exercise had a 40% lower chance of developing new frequent knee pain compared with non-walkers. That surprises a lot of people. They expect walking to damage the knee, but for many people, smart walking helps protect it. Now that does not mean you should force a painful limp. It means you should walk in a joint-friendly way. Use shoes with a stable sole, start on flat ground, not hills. Warm up for 2 to 3 minutes at an easy pace. Keep your steps shorter if your knees ache. If 20 minutes hurts, do 5 minutes 4 times a day. If you feel pain above a 5 out of 10, back off. If you feel stiffness that eases after a few minutes, that is often different from sharp pain that gets worse. And balance improves when you keep using the system. Your feet, eyes, inner ears, and leg muscles all talk to each other while you walk. The less you walk, the quieter that conversation gets. The more you walk safely, the stronger that signal becomes. Isn't that what independence really is? Keeping that signal alive? Support your joints with food too. Aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein in a meal to help your muscles support your knees. 3 ounces of chicken gives you about 26 grams. 1 cup of cottage cheese gives you about 25 grams. Add vitamin C for collagen support, the protein that helps hold tissues together. 1 orange gives you about 70 milligrams. Half a red bell pepper gives you even more. Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. And now we get to the one that ties everything together. Number 1, you increase your odds of staying independent and living longer. Most people think walking helps a little here and there, but actually when you walk every day, the benefits stack on top of each other. Better blood pressure, better blood sugar, better balance, better brain function. Put that together and what do you get? A body that keeps showing up for you. A 2022 study from the University of Massachusetts Amherst found that adults over 60 who walked between 6,009 000 steps a day had a 40% to 50% lower risk of a cardiovascular event like a heart attack or stroke compared with people walking around 2,000 steps a day. And remember that 2021 University of Massachusetts Amherst study, it found that 7,000 steps a day was linked to a 50% to 70% lower risk of premature death. Not because walking is magic, but because daily walking keeps so many small body systems from sliding in the wrong direction at once. Think of walking like paying a tiny deposit into your future every day. Miss one day, fine. Miss a few, life happens. But stop paying in for months and the account changes. Your muscles shrink. Your stamina drops. Your confidence slips. Stairs feel taller. Chairs feel lower. Errands feel harder. That's how independence fades for many people, quietly. So how do you build the habit for real? Tie it to something you already do. Walk after coffee. Walk after lunch. Walk while talking on the phone. Walk to the end of the driveway and back 5 times. Use a simple step counter if numbers motivate you, but don't let the device control you. If you only have 8 minutes, do 8. If you missed yesterday, restart today. Not guilt, but repetition. Not perfection, but momentum. And fuel that future with basics that support recovery. A cup of milk gives you about 300 milligrams of calcium. A 3-ounce serving of salmon can give you around 570 international units of vitamin D depending on the type. 1 cup of lentils gives you about 18 grams of protein and plenty of fiber. You do not need expensive powders and pills to support a daily walking habit. You need steady food, steady sleep, and steady movement. I'd love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in the comments. Now let's pump the brakes for a second. I'm not saying this to scare you, but walking every day is not something you should do blindly if your body is throwing up warning signs. If you get chest pain, strong pressure in the chest, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or feel like you may faint, stop and get medical help. If one leg suddenly swells, turns red, or becomes painful, do not walk through it. If you have severe neuropathy, meaning nerve damage that makes your feet numb, you need to be extra careful because you may not feel a blister or injury forming. And there are interactions to think about. If you take insulin or certain diabetes pills, walking right after a meal may drop your blood sugar faster, so monitor how you feel and keep a quick snack nearby if your clinician told you to. If you take blood pressure medicine, especially diuretics, you may get lightheaded or dehydrated on hot days. If you take a beta blocker, your heart rate may not rise normally, so use how you feel, not just a watch to judge effort. If you have advanced arthritis, severe heart disease, or recent surgery or balance problems that make falls likely, talk with your doctor or physical therapist before starting a new routine. So yes, walking is powerful, but smart walking is better than stubborn walking. Your body wants progress, not punishment. So you're convinced, but thinking, how do I actually do this? Start with the easiest version possible. Walk for 10 minutes after one meal each day, that's it. If that feels too hard, walk for 5 minutes and add 1 minute every few days. If the weather is bad, walk inside your house. If your hallway is short, do laps. If money is tight, you do not need a treadmill, a gym membership, or expensive shoes. You need a safe space, comfortable clothes, and a plan you can repeat tomorrow. A very simple daily routine could look like this: 5 to 10 minutes after breakfast, 5 to 10 minutes after dinner, a few extra laps while the kettle boils or the microwave runs. By the end of the day, that can add up to 20 to 30 minutes without ever feeling like a workout. That's how habits stick. They fit your life instead of fighting it. Look, there's a lot of noise out there. Fancy programs, extreme challenges, perfect step goals. But walking every day is still one of the simplest things you can do for your heart, your brain, your joints, your blood sugar, and your independence. You don't need to overthink this. Start with just 10 minutes after one meal today. Your body will tell you if it's working. You'll feel a little looser, a little steadier, a little clearer. Then that little becomes your new normal. If this helped you, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed because we post new health tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong,